So we're in the middle of August here in 2022, and we decided to come back to do a short adventure here close to the Roche Miette, which is right in behind me over there, but you can't really see it because of the trees. Convinced my two daughters to come along with me to have a easy but yet interesting hike along the Roche Miette over here. They're doing some construction for the power line, so if you see looks like a little construction area, you guys can park there, or if the construction is done by the time you see this video, where the power lines are, you can park right there. What I did find in the Roche Miette Creek is that there's a couple little waterfalls, and then there's a big one at the far back. I've discovered that big waterfall by accident because I came from the top down, and then I had to go around the said big waterfall. And we're gonna go check out that waterfall and see how far of a hike it is and all this stuff. I'm going to put all this information in the video, and then I'll show you guys everything there is to see on the Roche Miette Creek. And we're going to go as high up to the main crux of the creek, which is the large waterfall at the very, very end. I think most people turn around before they get there. So let's go check out these hidden waterfalls in Jasper National Park. First portion of the creek, you can tell this isn't stone, it's just all kind of like dirt and rock all packed together. This is probably like 30 to 50 meters high. You can tell that this stuff is all soft because the rain is all flowing down and loosening off. There's like these little crevasses everywhere, making these little scree piles, slowly digging through. Well, this is kind of like the signature thing you'll find at the Roche Miette Creek, and it's this pinch canyon point. So all these stones should be the other way. They should actually be completely horizontal, but they're partly vertical because of how syncline mountains are formed. Hence why at the syncline ridge, when you go up it, you'll see like these vertical columns of rock that are completely like the wrong way. So this kind of was formed and then heated up and then folded back again. So anyways, it makes a cool little formation. What's nice about right now is that I've only came here early in the year where there's a lot of water, and right now there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of water coming down. Actually in like July, August, it's probably a little bit easier, but if you can come here in like May, June. Be careful though, because you don't want to see any snow on the top, because this is definitely a chute for snow. But if it's clear, you're going to get a whole lot of water coming down, and the water makes it a little bit more difficult. Slick rock here when it's wet, so it's super slippery. So let's go up there. So by the middle of August here, this is kind of like perfect conditions to come up here. So if you have young kids, they can make it up here. You just have to be careful. This stone doesn't look very slick, but it is. It's been polished off by the water really nicely. So even when it's not wet, it's still fairly slick. Right here in the summer, or more in the spring, water will actually flow out of here. On this little section here, you can do like a butt scoop. You just sit here and move sideways. Or if you have long legs, you can just step over top of here and then just do the stepping on one side with one foot on the other. Just using my arms to hold my weight up so I can shift my feet. And this for me is the easiest way. If you're a child and you're a little bit smaller, you can kind of walk on there. But right now, My camera is straight, so you can see the angle of that wall. It's pushing you outwards. Obviously this time of year, there's not a whole lot of water here. It's all dried up. Little puddles of mud here and there. It might be stuck higher up. We're gonna keep going to see if we can find more water flow. But so far, just little puddles and no water at all.
Big spider web right here in between these three rocks. And it's really neat. Like, this is the spider. It's kind of chilling right in the middle. You can barely see the web. And it's about an inch above the water. It's just waiting for bugs to come and attach them themselves so that they can just have a lunch. Great place for a web.
Well, we found some water. And I wanted to show you guys this too, because this is the same kind of formation that we went through originally when we first came into the creek. That little narrow, like Pinch Canyon portion. This is like a second one over here. So however this got formed, I'm not a geologist, but it's a very common theme around this creek here. It's like somebody just came and just sliced this whole opening. You can see how it all got sliced open. It's almost like these rocks were formed flat and then something just rippled them and then just like sliced them through. And at the far back where the Roche Miette kind of starts, that's where it kind of turns, and that's where the big waterfall is. So we're gonna head up there. Kids love to hang out here because it's kind of just something interesting to see, except for late in the summer, obviously you won't find any water for the first kilometer or two. And also, if you're warm, you just take your hat. That's why I like hats that don't have mesh. You can dip them in the water. Whew. And it just drips down your back and your neck and keeps you cool. All right, peace out. Boulder here in the middle of the creek. It must be 5 meters tall and probably 10 meters long. It's a good thing we weren't around when these decided to fall down here. This is another big wall. You can tell up top there it's very soft stuff, even up there. And we're going up to try to find all the way up to that stone wall over there, which is where the Roche Miette kind of meets up with the creek and turns. It's 90 degrees. That, ladies and gentlemen, is called the Roche Miette, and it's the very north portion, and you can see this kind of from the road, but not this well. This little ridge portion at the front kind of hides most of it, and especially the west side of it is completely hidden by this incline ridge, so you can't really see it unless you're deciding to climb up on this ridge. So where I'm sitting at now is basically in between both creeks that roll down the Roche Miette. But these little tiny hoodoos all in the front portion of this ridge. It's kind of crazy. There's a bunch there. I can't zoom in anymore. You can clearly see them in the middle of the screen here. It's very neat. So as I stand up, you can see that there's kind of a creek that rolls down on that side. Then there's a second creek that rolls down on the other side here, and I'm just kind of like on the ridge in between. So a lot of the snow that's literally on the north side of the peak will melt and come down. And then there's that whole extension on the back side here. So we're not going to go to the actual second waterfall. The first one is actually in behind that little wall down there. I'll show you guys that when I was there last time. There's like a little bit of water that trickles down there. It's pretty easy to climb up. But you can keep going up there, and then eventually you'll hit that other waterfall. But right now, there's no water that's flowing, which is quite surprising. This is all dried up. There's barely any water. I came a little bit too late to explore this, and we hiked up about 4 kilometers up. And I'm on an extra ridge that I didn't even need to climb up, and I'm at 370 meters of elevation gain. But it's super slow because you're bouldering. You're walking on big rocks, and you have to kind of go around stuff. There's no trail. What's funny is that you want to get up there to see water at the waterfalls. But if there's too much water, then it's too difficult to go up the creek. So it's like a catch-22. You want the water, but then you don't want it there to get up here. So and this is the Roche Miette. And I'm Eric Tremblay, and these are my adventures. Peace out.